Hey students, this is Adarsh and let's study about nutrition in plants, and this is the first chapter of your biology, and I recommend you to use any earphone or headset while you're watching this video. So before getting into deeper explanation, let's revise what we have studied in class 6th. In class 6th, we studied about nutrients. So what is nutrient? Nutrients are the chemical substances that are present in our food that are important for our body. Now we studied that there are 5 kinds of nutrients, that is carbohydrate, fat, protein, vitamins and minerals. And out of these 5, carbohydrate and fat are energy giving food, protein is bodybuilding food, and vitamins and minerals are protective food. And we studied that they serve various purposes, and some of those purposes are to build our body, it helps in the process of growth, it repairs the damaged part of our bodies, and it ultimately provides energy to carry out different life processes. So now let's go deeper into the chapter. So what do you mean by nutrition? Now, nutrition is a process of synthesis of food, its breakdown and utilization for various functions in the body. Now we can actually divide this definition in 3 parts. First, synthesis of food, that is making of food or preparation of food. Then its breakdown. Its breakdown means its breakdown from its complex form to its simpler form, and then ultimately comes utilization. Utilization means using that simpler form to carry out the various life processes. Now there are mainly 2 modes or 2 kinds of nutrition in plants. First, it is autotrophic nutrition, and second, there is heterotrophic nutrition. Now, what do you mean by autotrophic mode of nutrition? It is a type of nutrition in which green plants manufacture their own food from simple raw material such as sunlight, carbon dioxide and water. So it is a type of nutrition in which green plants make their own food by the process of photosynthesis. And students, always remember, whenever we are talking about autotrophic mode of nutrition, it means we are always talking about green plants, because only green plants have the green pigment, that is chlorophyll. So because of that, they can carry out the process of photosynthesis. Now next comes heterotrophic nutrition. Now whenever you talk about heterotrophic nutrition, it means we are talking about non-green plants. Now non-green plants means they lack the green pigment chlorophyll. Now because they lack the green pigment chlorophyll, so they are unable to do the process of photosynthesis, thereby they are dependent on other green plants to get their food. So there are 2 modes of nutrition in plants. First is autotrophic, that include green plants, and second is heterotrophic nutrition, that includes non-green plants. Now next comes the process by which green plants make their food. Now what is the name of the process? The process is photosynthesis. So we have been studying this topic from in previous classes also. Now photosynthesis is a process by which plants prepare their own food by using sunlight, water, carbon dioxide and chlorophyll. And sunlight is obtained from the sun, water is absorbed from the root, carbon dioxide is taken from the air through small pores in the leaves called as stomata, and chlorophyll are the green pigment that are present in the leaves. Now let's discuss little bit about stomata. Now stomata are the tiny pores or small pores that are present in the underside of the leaf. And what are their function? What is the function of stomata? The function of the stomata is it helps in the exchange of gases. So always remember, what is stomata? Stomata are the tiny pores that are present in the underside of the leaf. So here is the reaction of photosynthesis that we can see, that is carbon dioxide plus water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll gives carbohydrate or glucose plus oxygen. So what is the main product? The main product is carbohydrate or glucose, and oxygen is the byproduct. Now let's study about different plants that are included in heterotrophic nutrition. Now there are mainly 4 plants that are included in heterotrophic nutrition, that is parasitic plants, saprophytic plants, symbiotic plants and insectivorous plants. Now let's study about parasitic plants. Now parasitic plants are actually non-green plants. So again, always remember, when I am saying non-green, it means they lack the green pigment chlorophyll, and because they lack the green pigment chlorophyll, so they are unable to do the process of photosynthesis. So how do they get food? Ultimately they are dependent on other green plants to obtain their food, and the plant on which parasitic plants are dependent to obtain food is called as host plant. Few examples you can remember. One of the example is cuscuta, which is generally known as amarbel. Now the other plant that is included in heterotrophic nutrition is insectivorous plants. Now students, please remember this basic point about this plant, that this plant is actually a autotrophic plant, or this plant is actually autotroph because it has the green pigment chlorophyll, and actually it has the capability to do the process of photosynthesis. Then question comes, if it can do the process of photosynthesis, then why it is placed under the category of heterotrophic plant? Now listen very carefully. The soil in which insectivorous plants grow is actually deficient in nitrogen or lack nitrogen. So to fulfill their nitrogen requirement, these plants trap insects so that by digesting them they can fulfill their nitrogen requirement. And as in the diagram you must be able to see that the leaves of the insectivorous plants are modified into a pitcher shaped structure, and there is a reason behind it why it gets modified into a pitcher shaped structure, so that when any insect comes, then the upper lid gets closed and the insects get trapped inside. Okay, now the next type of plant that is included in heterotrophic nutrition is saprophytic plants. Now they are also non-green plants. So non-green plants means they lack which pigment? Chlorophyll. Now they are also non-green plants, but they are not dependent on green plants, but they are dependent on dead and decaying plants and animals to obtain their food. Now please listen carefully. Parasitic plants and saprophytic plants both are non-green plants, but parasitic plants are dependent on green plants to obtain their food, whereas saprophytic plants are dependent on dead and decaying plants and animals to obtain their food. Now how do saprophytic plants obtain their food? Now these saprophytic plants secretes certain digestive enzymes on these dead and decaying plants and animals, and as the result of this secretion, the dead and decaying plant is converted from its complex form to its simple or simpler absorbable form, and after they are converted into simpler absorbable form, then the saprophytic plants simply absorb them and fulfill the need of their food. And the last plant which is included in heterotrophic nutrition is symbiotic plants. Now, there are plants that live in partnership with other plants. Now, such plants which share their shelter and nutrients with each other are called as symbiotic plants. Now, they are the plants that live in association with each other. They are the plants that live in partnership in each other. Now, let's try to understand it better with an example. Now, the best example of symbiotic relationship is lichen. Now, lichen is formed by the association between fungus and alga. Now, fungus provides shelter to alga and alga provides food to fungus by providing food, because as you all know, alga has green pigment, so it can prepare food by the process of photosynthesis. And now last topic, how nutrients are replenished in the soil. Now, nutrients are absorbed by plants from the soil. So the amount of nutrients goes on decreasing in the soil. As you know that in the soil, what are growing? Plants are growing. So continuously these plants are taking up the nutrients to fulfill their requirement. So what happened? The soil may become deficient of nutrient, or the soil may become deficient in the nutrient. But how it is balanced? It is balanced by dead and decaying plants that decays naturally. Okay, so how this deficiency is being balanced? Now, when dead and decaying plants ultimately decays, or when they ultimately decomposes, they get mixed with the soil, and in this way the soil is being replenished. So thank you for listening.